folks? Welcome to the channel. I'm Don. I'm just having a blast with this. I mean, I'm in my 8th year now, and having grown up on rock, and then later, much later in life, gotten into country. Uh, I started getting a bit more into it probably 15 to 20 years ago, but not heavily. I bought Merle's Greatest Hits album. I had Alan's Greatest Hits album. Billy Dean was the first country album that I bought, and I also grabbed Sherry Austin's. And just some gorgeous songs on there. But it took me a few more years before I got more into like Billy Currington, Easton Corbin, Miranda Lambert, like more Nashville artists who had some good traditional sensibilities and sensitivities in their music. But then I started the channel, and you guys were like, Don, based on how you like the lyrics, you got to listen to. And then all these classic artists, of course, Hank Sr., Hank Jr., George Jones, Patsy Cline, Johnny Horton, like these, and then like independent or lesser known artists like John Prine, Tom T. Hall, and then more contemporary artists like Jason Isbell and folks. And it's like, oh my God, this is me. And so you're on the journey with me. A lot of you folks are on this journey with me, but I'm convinced that traditional is going to resurge. It's going to make a resurgence because, the storylines in mainstream country are just boring for the most part. I mean, the songs can be fun, but you got the repeat drum loop and all that. So not to go off on too much of that, but I'm absolutely convinced. And you can put me on the poster child for someone who absolutely believes that traditional country not only should make a comeback, because I'm not big into normatives, but it will make a comeback. It's just, to me, it's inevitable that the pendulum's going to swing back to substance. And that's where traditional country has its home. That's what it is. And in that vein, Kyle Perkins made a gift to the channel for me to do this song. So Kyle, thank you for this. Kyle knows his stuff. He's been in the country maybe your whole life. Kyle, I don't know that part of your history, so to speak, but you know your stuff. And you made a gift to the channel, so thank you for that. The gift for Vern's Today My World Slipped Away. And you're like, oh no, was it like she left him? Somebody died? Is it about a parent? Is it husband, wife? What is it? And Kyle said he was torn between Vern's rendition and George Strait's version or rendition of the song, but you were pretty sure that Vern's preceded George's, so you wanted that one. So that's what we're doing. Vern the Voice, that's his nickname. Vern the Voice Gosdin. Say the piano poignant. Pedal poignant.
We made it final today. I gave you all I had. You made you get away. All the love we once made.
Yeah.
Turn to memories today. Left the courtroom and went straight to the church. I hit my knees and told God how much I hurt. There's nothing left of my heart. It's gonna be so hard to make a new start.
That's a fact.
'Cause today my world slipped away. We buried the plans that we made, and tonight I'm alone and afraid. 'Cause today my world slipped away.
That is what I've been saying for so long on the channel, that the appropriate backing set is very different. It's not merely subliminal, it's social. When you bring in backing vocalists, it gives a sense of community. But then you say, okay, what's the community? If it's just like 5 different backing vocalists being brought in just for effect, fair enough, that's part of music. they brought in the female here. She was more prominent than backing. It was almost duetting in that moment. And it says, she's feeling the exact same way. That's the additional aspect of having another voice in there. It says a lot more than just having another voice come in for effect. This is to communicate she's feeling the exact same way. She wanted it, it sounded like. She thought she wanted the divorce.
My friends say that I'll make it all right. I'll recover and start a new life.
Yeah.
But that will be so hard to do.
It is.
'Cause living ain't worth living without you.
Feels that way.
And today my world slipped away. We buried the plans that we made. And tonight I'm alone and afraid. 'Cause today my world slipped away. Yesterday my world slipped away.
That captured a sliver of life in that moment. Yeah, because I lived this almost to a T, and it's spot on. The person who wrote this lived it. You don't watch a movie and then like write a song, like this. You live it, and I mean, I guess you could. No, the way this was produced too. Obviously, the way it was sung with Vern, he has a sensitivity that is, you're not going to do better than Vern. You've got your George Joneses and seniors and stuff that just have it at that level. They're just some folks where you just say, why are you so listenable? Why are you so believable? Some people just are, and Vern is that. There's a reason they call him the voice as the nickname, but this song captured that sliver of signing on the dotted line and you're moving on. And I remember being at the courthouse with mine. I remember that final hug and walking in opposite directions. And what does this mean? Where do you go? I'd already dealt with much of the hurt at that time. But, I share these details because I don't care. I'm pretty much an open book. There's certain things that are very private, that my girlfriend and I now, there are a lot of things that obviously it's just inappropriate to talk about, and just out of respect for other people. Same thing with my friends. There's certain things that we share that I don't share, but about me, I mean, for the most part, that was my life. That's my story, the divorce, and that's just true. And what he's saying here is absolutely right, what the songwriter said, and that is true. Like in my life coaching practice, when I talk with my clients, and even I have friends who are going through divorces or just got divorced, and I let them know what is to come. I break down the process for them. Divorce is, and sociologists and psychologists say consistently over the decades have said that divorce is the second most painful event a person experiences, right behind the death of a child. And I've even spoken with folks who had their first spouse die. They got remarried. They married again, and then they got divorced. And they've said that the divorce was more painful. And that they say simply because when someone dies, you're hurt, you're upset, but there are no lingering questions other than, God, why did you take, my husband or wife from me? In a divorce, there are far more lingering questions. And that's the rationale given. It's extraordinarily painful. It's a long process, but it also involves the death of dreams, the death of hope. And that's when he said, I buried my world. I mean, that's part of your world, your dreams, your hopes, your desires, what you've built, what you've worked for, what you've anticipated, what you've expected, all of that. Sign on the dotted line. And then you get your divorce decree that the judge signs, and you're no longer married in the eyes of the state, whatever state you reside in. And now it's, who am I? Plain and simple. Three primary concerns at that point. Do I want to be with someone again? Where do I want to live? And where am I going to work? Those are the three concerns that come up, and you don't know which order to place them in. Now, if you're already, say, a lawyer or a salesperson and you have a job, you know where you're going to be working, but you don't know where you're going to be living necessarily, because you might be in an apartment after you left the house or sold the house or whatever. And then, do you want to be in another relationship after enduring this level of pain? At first, you're like, I can't take it. You're too disoriented anyway. You don't know what life is. All the things you'd been attached to relating to your future, the hopes, the expectations, the dreams, okay, by age 60 something, we'll retire and then we'll move to South Carolina or Arizona or wherever. All those things are, what now? So if I get with another person, is he or she going to share the same desires? How are we going to merge those worlds? And if this world just crumbled the way it did, what's to say that won't? That one won't. And these are all the fears and concerns that you've got to get over. In addition to figuring out, what part did you play in the breakup, in the dissolution? What could you have done better? What could you have done not as poorly? What's non-negotiable? What do you value that your former spouse did not value, and vice versa? How do you negotiate those things? How do you communicate? These are all things that relate to who you are as a person. But Kyle, what a choice, man. Jesus, I relived my divorce in this. That's how accurate this song was. And it just covered that sliver of life that I talk about that I like. I like meta views on things, but this is one where this was accurate. Not over the top at all, not under the bottom. And they brought her in a couple of times to say, well, she's feeling the same thing, even though she didn't say that. Yeah, kind of did. But I'm going to rate this song. Oh, all right. I got to go with the first number. And that's what I go with. And it's a 9.8. I don't know what kept it from being a 10, but when the number pops into my head, I roll with it. So, oh my God, Kyle. This is good. That's also going in the premarital counseling playlist. All right. I have a playlist of premarital counseling songs. So tell your people who are going to get married about that playlist. Let them listen to it, because it's educational, about what to look out for, the pitfalls, the joys, and such. But you just pay attention when you're married, and take the risk of really loving the other person, really listening, really sacrificing, and hope the other person does the same in some measure. Have a great day, folks. I'll see you on another video as I go and recover and keep rocking the country.